Do you guys realize that WWE is featuring 4 different stories, 4 different feuds with 8 different divas?
Okay, before you get into that, the Funkadactyls, though, I mean, that's kind of more about.
Funky's on a roll.
That's
Funky's
more about Total Divas, right? I mean, that's not really happening. We're seeing the fallout on WWE programming, but for the most part, that's happening on Total Divas.
Um, hmm.
I don't
Not
know, Nick. You
so much.
watch. You
Yeah,
tell us.
Nick, tell us. Is that true?
Not so much. There's been like rumblings, like it's no, that's not really the case.
Okay,
Get a little bit, but not really.
fair enough.
Thanks for that, Harrison. Your wrong
Screw you
point.
guys.
Maybe you should check to Wikipedia with that one. So, but yeah, no, I think we've seen most of that feud on TV as far as on Raw, and well, that's really all I watch. So, that's all I'm aware of it. And so, okay, so we got that. We got the Funkadactyls breakup, which technically officially happened this week. We've also got the whole Brie, Nikki, Bella situation against Stephanie McMahon. Who knows what that's leading to? A lot of rumors that we're going to see a match, probably Brie versus Stephanie McMahon at SummerSlam. I hope not, but we might see that. AJ versus Paige for the title, which is a pretty good feud. Then we've also got Layla versus Summer Rae, because Fandango reasons, I guess. And then we can't all. I mean, we also have to remember Alicia Fox is in there too. So there's at least 9, 10 divas right now that are getting featured time every week. Do you like this?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good step in convincing the WWE universe that Divas match is not synonymous with bathroom break. I'm sure it's kind of a mixed bag because on the one hand you got AJ versus Paige, and Naomi versus Cameron could go somewhere, and the Bellas versus the Authority could also go somewhere. On the other hand, you got Layla versus Summer Rae, which by themselves that would be a pretty good feud, but because you're throwing in this awkward love triangle thing, it's it's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But yeah, but on the whole, I think the positives are outweighing the negatives, and you could say what you will about the quality of the individual stories, but the fact these stories are happening at all is a step up. And you also can't ignore what's going on down in NXT with the whole BFF angle, the way they're splitting up and going at it. You've also got Natalia trying to facilitate this heel turn in Tyson Kidd, whether it's intentional or not. The Divas are finally being used in a way that's proper, for lack of a better word. It's not anymore the Attitude Era bullshit or the bikini battle royales, or you still get a little bit of that as we saw with Vicky Guerrero going into the pool of whatever that was. But I think,
Feces.
yeah, I think we're finally starting to move past that point into something that you might see in Shimmer or in Shine, where women's wrestling is being valued for wrestling.
Right. And real quick, Nick. I mean, you say as far as the Layla and Summer Rae bit, it's unfortunate that that feud has to do with some kind of love triangle thing, but at least this time around, because I think we'll always have something like that. That's just the nature of the beast. That's life. But at least not every story is that, because that's usually what we get is every
Right.
single diva is involved in some kind of love triangle crap. So yeah, I don't
That's
know.
true.
Joe, what do you think?
Um, I like the fact that they're actually using the divas. I mean, we got a bit of it with Paige. We had it initially with AJ, and then she had no one to feud with. We're actually seeing wrestling coming up in the divas division, more so like you guys said with Shimmer or anywhere else that's not the WWE, not Prime television type wrestling. Prime is in like TNA and WWE, not Prime that's no longer
Yeah,
in
mainstream.
existence. Yeah, the mainstream shit. So yeah, I'm glad to see it. I'm not hip on the Funkadactyls breakup storyline thing. It's just that one seems a little weak, but it is what it is. Do we? Because one of them's not going to be on the roster much longer. I don't know which one. I'd assume it's Blonde, since I never knew which one's which.
Cameron is the blonde-ish one.
See, and I thought it was the other way around. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't care for the character that she's playing, so that kind of hurts my interest in it. But AJ versus Paige, I mean, where they're kind of being friendly with each other, I can't wait to see that one blow up. I like the competition that's going to erupt from that. Layla versus Summer Rae, dry and bland and whatever. But hopefully we'll get some decent wrestling at it. Layla's an okay wrestler. She's not my favorite. She's never been my favorite diva. When she was part of the when it was Lay Cool, I thought she was definitely the weak link. But I know she can wrestle, so maybe she'll get some good work in with Summer Rae, and both can elevate their games. And then the Bellas, whatever, Bellas.
Yeah, Bellas. Harrison, what do you think?
I like all the storylines, despite the fact that apparently none of them are happening on Whole Divas. Apparently, I don't. The only thing I don't like about it, and the only complaint I have, is AJ versus Paige. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, and that this is kind of being this has the potential to be a massively awesome feud, and I'm just waiting for the afterburners to turn on. And I feel like the longer that they wait before doing that, and the more they kind of dance around it and tease and be kind of cute with it, I'm worried the worse off it's going to be. Or the worse off it's going to end up. And for me, this feud it has so much amazing potential to it that I'm like, okay, look, it was good when Paige first got in. She has built a character. She's kind of got the crowd around her a little bit. She's getting comfortable in the WWE spotlight. AJ's coming back, and I cannot believe the crowd is still chanting CM Punk. But, that's what's happening. This feud could be amazing, and I worry that they're kind of taking too long teasing it, and at the same time, I also realize it's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the fear. There's always the fear that WWE will ruin it, as in they won't do what we want them to do. That they'll take this a totally different direction, or they'll move Paige into like that sub role, or they'll put her back on NXT, or this won't go where we all think it needs to go, which is a back and forth feud for the title. These are the two that we want to see fight for it. Maybe throw Naomi in here and there, but that's the match that we want to see is AJ versus Paige. And if we don't get it by SummerSlam, there's going to be a lot of disgruntled fans, for sure. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm happy about this. It does feel like WWE has finally figured out how to give the Divas an adequate amount of time and provide them with compelling stories. It's been so long where all we got was the Layla versus Summer Rae stuff, or was love triangle stuff that really didn't make sense or no one could really get into because it was dumb. This is all kind of cool. Funkadactyls are fighting because Naomi is looking like an adequate wrestler, and Cameron is jealous of that. AJ versus Paige, obviously, good feuds should come from that. Layla versus Summer Rae. I mean, there is still some good matches that could happen. Summer Rae is a quality wrestler from everything that we've been able to see so far. So hopefully they continue to push that. Once Emma gets back in, I hope Emma gets involved in one of these feuds because I think she could do pretty well. And yeah, like you said, Nick, everything they're doing in NXT, it seems like this is the direction they're going to go. You know, quality feuds, quality wrestling matches as well. So yeah, hopefully this continues, but we'll see.